Welcome to Motorize D. Today it's all about a Ducati that's often overlooked, yet played a huge role in the brand's history, the Pantah 650. We'll take a close look at what makes it such an appealing classic, where its limits are, and what you really need to watch for when buying one. This isn't nostalgia at any price. It's the honest question. Does this bike fit your riding style, your willingness to wrench, and your budget? We'll cover the engineering, the riding feel, common weak points, and smart upgrades. So by the end you'll know whether the Pantah 650 is your two-wheel dream or more of a project. As a model reference, we'll be looking in part at the Pantah 650 SL with its distinctive half-fairing. Gern, mir fehlt nur der eigentliche Text von Szene 2. Bitte sende den deutschen Voice-Over-Text oder lade ihn hoch und sag kurz, ein gewünschter Stilton, zum Beispiel sachlich, emotional, werblich, humorvoll. Zielgruppe Variante US oder UK Englisch. GGFter Längenlimit oder Timing, zum Beispiel 10-12 Sekunden. Dann liefere ich eine idiomatische, natürliche und ansprechende Übersetzung. In 1980, Ducati reaches a crossroads, and the Pantah 650 becomes the restart signal from Borgo Panigale. Instead of the complex bevel drive system, Ducati now turns to toothed belts to spin the overhead camshafts. Quieter, cheaper to build, and far easier to service in the real world. Yet a Ducati still feels like a Ducati. Desmodromic valve control, the 90-degree L-twin, and that raw, mechanically direct connection to the road. Even more crucial is the chassis. The slim trellis frame debuts here as a true production concept, and later becomes a signature, echoed all the way to icons like the 851 and 916. From the Pantah platform, new offshoots quickly follow, such as the 600 SL and later the 750 F1. The 650 isn't a footnote, it's the foundation. Bitte sende mir den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 4, der nach fehlt. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch und natürlich ins Englische. At its heart is an air-cooled 90-degree V-twin with 2 valves per cylinder and Ducati's signature desmodromic valve control. From 649cc, it makes around 58 horsepower. Very Ducati in that it wins you over more with character than with headline numbers. Fueling is handled by a pair of Del Orto PHF carburetors, most often 36mm, which explains the crisp throttle response and that tough, distinctive intake bark. A defining feature of the series, 2 toothed belts drive the camshafts. And it's exactly this move away from the old bevel drive setup that makes the Pantah such an important technical milestone. Depending on the version, you get a 5 or 6-speed gearbox, with power sent to the rear wheel by chain. Chassis-wise, you'll often find a 35mm Marzocchi telescopic fork up front and twin rear shocks. Gern, mir fehlt nur noch der eigentliche Text. Bitte füge den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 6 hier ein oder lade ihn hoch. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische. The Pantah 650 looks slim, compact, and refreshingly honest. Little bodywork, plenty of engineering on show, and that distinctive triangular sweep of the trellis frame wrapped around the L-twin. On the 650 SL in particular, the half-fairing adds a sporty, almost race-bred presence without visually overwhelming the bike. Up front, the cockpit is dominated by classic round dials. The seat is long and fairly flat, more cafe racer than touring machine. The clip-ons are sporty but not slammed, and paired with mid-mounted pegs, they create a slightly forward-leaning, composed riding position. Anyone coming from modern naked bikes will notice it quickly. This is old-school sportiness, less cushy comfort, more direct feedback. Bitte sende mir den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 8, nach dem Mai. In deiner Nachricht ist nach dem Trennstrich kein Text enthalten. Wenn du mir zusätzlich kurz sagst, für wen das Voice-Over ist, zum Beispiel Imagefilm, Produktvideo, Doku, und welchen Ton du willst, neutral, emotional, humorvoll, premium, passe ich die englische Übersetzung entsprechend an. Out on the road, the Pantah 650 surprises you with its agility. It turns in neutrally, feeling light and precise, so long as you ride cleanly and place your line with intent. The 90-degree L-twin responds instantly to the throttle, and the Del Orto carbs deliver that slightly raw, mechanical mid-range punch that defines the bike's character. In daily use, it can handle city traffic, but you have to want the sporty riding position. Your wrists and neck will work harder than they would on a tourer. The classic 18-inch wheel setup adds stability, but on rough roads, it asks for a bit of patience. By today's standards, the brakes and suspension aren't outstanding. Still, with a well-set Marzocchi fork and fresh pads, the Pantah becomes impressively manageable. Gern, mir fehlt nur der eigentliche Text. Bitte füge den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 10 hier ein oder lade ihn als Dateibild hoch. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische.